anywhere.
It is a warm welcome to you, and definitely today is warmer than it was yesterday. We are right here on Mind Your Business. My name is Kim Sibanda, and we do mind our business in the right kind of way, where we look at what's going on in your business, what's going on in your mind, and how you are looking at the world around you to make a dollar out of 15 cents. Today I am honored, definitely honored, because I am a big fan of one of the authors of these beautiful books that are in the studio, and that is the author of The Chartered Vendor, and that was his first book. I did read this one, and I am in the middle of reading The Chartered Vendor, Selling Like a Vendor. The two carry on with the title of vendor. He is here in studio, and his name is Jerimo Nyazungu. How are you this morning?
Hi, Kim.
How are you?
Nice meeting you.
You know what? It's actually different, because when I see you talking,
Yeah.
you're very passionate. You're very, like, I can almost see you jumping out of your book. But today you're like so calm, and it's like you're very reserved. But I think you're about to get out of your jacket.
Yes. When you give me a mic, then I'll get off of my jacket. Yeah.
All right. For those of you of us that are listening in right now that may not know who you are, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do?
Okay. So Jerry is the chief servant of a company called M&J, which I'm also the founder. I founded it in 2015. And I'm also an author. Like what you said, I wrote 2 books called The Chartered Vendor and Selling Like a Vendor. Then I'm writing a third one, which is called Sales Equals to Mjolo.
Hela.
And I was also a vendor selling sweets and bananas in the streets of Budiriro, Glenview. Beaten by police, 40 cats, arrested more than 43 times because of vending. So that's who I am, and I'm passionate about entrepreneurship and sales. And my vision is to train at least 1 million Africans in entrepreneurship and sales, and also to build timeless businesses in Africa.
Sure. I love that introduction. One day I want to be able to introduce myself like that. I have so many questions just from that introduction. Now, you say you've been arrested more than 43 times. Let's go into that. How were you arrested?
Okay, so when you're doing vending, it's termed illegal vending.
Yes.
So it simply means that when you're vending at a place which is not designated by the city council, police can come and arrest you. City council can also come and grab your stuff or arrest you. So is what used to happen during that time. It was around, I was a vendor from 2006 to up to end of 2009. So that's when I suffered almost every day. You thank God if you're not arrested, because almost on daily basis. Remember, the economy was also difficult, more difficult than this time, because that's when food was scarce. So also even my security forces were also benefiting from what they were taking from us as well. So it was more like a cat and mouse game, but we survived. It wasn't their fault. They were just doing their work as well.
Definitely. Everybody will be doing their work. You were doing your work. But at the time when you were doing your work, I'm interested to know, for those of us, vending, it doesn't sound like something that one has to be qualified to do. At that point, were you qualified? And also, at what point did you then change your story?
Okay, I wasn't qualified per se, but I was qualified in terms of academics. You spent a lot of years in school. And I was passionate. I wanted to be an accountant. I ended up being an accountant as well. So soon after A-level, I wanted to get into university, but unfortunately, my parents couldn't afford to get me into university. So I decided to get into Harare. I started working for the local company. I worked there for about 9 months. Then the contract expired. So I was given 9.5 million Beira checks, not USD. It wasn't a lot of money. I think one airtime card was almost 500,000. So when they gave me that money, and that same time also, the relatives I was staying with, they said, no, you can also stay on your own. So I used the other 4 million to find where I can rent. Then the other 4 million I used to purchase airtime cards. So that's when I started my vending journey, because I had 2 choices: to go back to Atsomba Actually, I like that song Mkoma Justice by Maka.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. Then the other 4 million, I started my vending. So about 2 weeks, 3 weeks into vending, I was doing airtime. Why airtime? Airtime was a bit lucrative because almost 10% of the population had phones.
Okay.
So it was a unique way of vending. But after 2 weeks, I think the gloves were off. So I started selling donuts. I started selling cigarettes. I sold bananas. I was selling freezes as well. So that's how I survived. So yes, it's a qualification which I learned. Well, that's when I learned how to speak to people because I was an introvert. That's when I started interacting with people, how to sell, how to even to budget because we'd done budgeting in school but not in practical. So yes, I was at A level. So I wasn't qualified to be a vendor, but I had some skills which I had also gained from school.
Those skills are the reason we know you to be the chartered vendor today.
Exactly.
And notably, you said you are a chief servant. Now, there's an interview I once heard where one said, as a founder, you cannot be the chief servant. And as a chief servant, very rarely can you be a founder. What would you say to that? Kuti iwo kana uri CEO of a company, ndo run a business, ndo vanofana kuona zviri business.
Yeah.
But if I am a founder, my business is to found many companies that many CEOs can then run. What is your take on that one?
Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag because right now I'm actually also on my way out as the chief servant because we now have a board, so we're also bringing new people, new blood because it's been 9 years whilst I was running the thing. But also I believe that you are the founder and you also have the vision. Just look at the people like Elon Musk. The reason why he has managed to be successful, I think he's CEO in most of his companies which he has founded. So it's a different style. People can talk about Dr. Strive Masiwa, who started off as an executive chairman of Econet and they to appoint a CEO. You can talk about the people like Mr. Zed, Mr. Mark Fowler at Insco. They start companies, they can find CEOs, but sometimes when you've got a vision to change the world, you're supposed to be the one on the driving seat sometimes because for most of the people, they might not know what you really want to achieve. Because right now, if I say I've got something in me which is telling me that I have a mandate to train at least 1 million people, someone can come and say, hey, I think you're crazy. How do you want to train 1 million people? All those numbers. How do you want even to sell 1 million books? Is it possible? But when you have it in you, it means it's possible. You can do it because I strongly believe actually, as I'm moving around, almost every company owner is coming to me, Jerry, do you have people? Do you know sales people? Do you have people who can sell? Then I'm saying the database I have is there are no people who can sell in Zimbabwe. There are very few people who know sales. So I say to myself, why can't I start an academy which actually trains sales people and give it to other companies as well? So this is a vision. This is something which is in me. I can do it overnight. I can have sleepless nights because why? There's something which is pushing me. All
right. So I did talk to you before we started about how some of your strategies that you may have employed to get maybe unorthodox, but I want to talk about that when we talk about training. But right now you were talking about vision and you were talking about where you want to go in the next 3 to 5 years. Who is Jerry Nyazungu then?
Yeah, by then, because right now our company is now also in Zambia and we are also now in South Africa. And we're also pushing other entrepreneurs to get into Dubai. So my vision is to say we need to conquer Africa. We need to conquer the Southern Africa. So in the next 3 to 4 5 years, we should be able to start businesses I should be able to help companies start any business in Southern Africa, be it in DRC, be it in Mozambique. We need to have inroads in those countries. And I can see my book, or my books rather, they can actually be even a multi-million-dollar business because if you write a good book, if you know how to sell that book, I tell you, the returns are good. So that's my vision. And to also say I need to speak to as many people as I can because we need to transform our mindset as Africans. We need to quit blaming the economy. We need to quit always concentrating on politics as if everyone is a politician.
Just as you are saying that, what do you say to the individual that is blaming the economy, that is blaming politics, to say, because right now how would you address that individual right now? Because you've been at the bottom.
Yeah.
And now you are slowly or even fast climbing. I don't know whether to call it slow because it's 9 years or it's fast. But definitely you are climbing that ladder. What would you say to that individual?
I think that's a race to the bottom, because if you start blaming the economy, there's no one who's going to save you. Actually, you're alone, and you need to take full responsibility. So even if I cause an accident today, I would rather be the one saying I've caused an accident, rather blaming another guy to say he's the one who has hit my car. So I want to take responsibility of my life. Whether I'm being sued, whether I'm being arrested, I should be the one who is saying I'm taking full responsibility. Because most of the times, 99% of the things which are happening to us is because of the decisions which are making. Yes, you can blame the economy, but there are also opportunities in the same economy. Because if network is bad, it simply means that's a problem which is waiting to be solved by another person. I tell you, if this economy was okay, like what most of the people wish, sometimes we're never going to have these solar companies which are mushrooming. We're never going to have these bore companies. Because why? We would have running water in our houses. We would have power 24 hours, but 24 hours?
And there'd be no need for
There's no need for that. So whenever there's a problem, it simply means that problem, it needs an entrepreneur to solve that problem. So whatever, if you see a pothole, find out how you can actually bring investors to fix those roads.
At a profitable price, obviously.
Yeah, so it's a matter of actually when there's a problem, wherever there's a problem, there's an opportunity. Most of the opportunities which are enjoying in Zimbabwe, I tell you, sometimes you cannot find them in UK, you cannot find them in America, because these are closed economies. Imagine if you're competing with the American giants in Zimbabwe. Some of the boutiques in Harare, they would have closed. If you're going to have big giants operating your games coming in to play a part in the Zimbabwean economy.
That is very true. So you're talking about a mindset. You're also addressing responsibility as well as an opportunity. Just like we had COVID-19, it was an opportunity for a lot of people to make money. You talk strategy. You talk about how people need to have a way to move their things. What is your strategy that you use in M&J, in all your companies, as well as that you advise to other companies?
Okay, so my strategy is wherever I am, I'm looking for opportunities. Wherever I am, I'm looking for someone to recruit. So if I see someone and they feel like probably Kim can be part of my team, I can even say, no, probably Kim can be part of my board and she can help me. So it's identifying skill, number one. Number two, also sales is mandatory in our organization, to the extent that my accountants can sell, my receptionist can sell, my developers can sell.
But why do you say sales is that important, that everyone should be able to sell?
Sales is life. Because like right now, you are speaking on radio, a DJ. If you start saying something which is not persuading the listeners, they're never going to listen to you.
That is true.
So if you hear that someone has got a big listenership, it means he or she is good at selling. They're selling their ideas to other people. So if you plan a program right now, you're actually saying, are they going to take it? Are they going to engage? Am I going to have those views? Am I going to have an engagement on my WhatsApp that sells? So even in life, because sales is not a profession per se, but sales is life. So every day you're supposed to be selling. For you to get a job at Power FM, you sold something. When you are going to get anything, whether you're negotiating a deal, you are negotiating with your employees, it's a kid who is asking for ice cream, all those are selling skills. So it's a skill which is needed in every human being for you to survive on this planet Earth.
All right, so if you are listening in right now, we are with the much celebrated chartered vendor and servant. I mean, wait, that name on its own, you say chief servant of M&J, chief servant. I like it very much. His name is Jerimo Nyazungu. He is a celebrated author. He is a sales trainer. He is, for those of you that don't know, a CEO and founder of a company that's doing very well, training sales and entrepreneurship across the country, across Southern Africa, as far as I've heard. But if you have questions for him, do feel free to come through on 0712-831-172. That's 0712-831-172. Now, we're talking about your strategy, but also you were talking about training. And I did say that an unorthodox way of training or hiring.
It was hiring.
There's one story I did here. Hanzi Nyazungu unonzi buda muno office uinde kunotora bepa hanzi ripa bridge or something. Wodzoka panapa. How does that help in any sales job or strategy of any kind? Kungoti munhu amhanya buda adzoke.
Okay, thank you. So what we've actually identified is we really need people who have got good attitude. So it's an attitude taste, but although it was a bit exaggerated when people were now telling it on Twitter or on radio, but anyway, what we usually do is when we're selecting people, we've got about 7 processes, which starts probably with getting someone's CVs, checking on, because we don't care about what's on someone's CV. So I've worked with people who had no knowledge in sales, no knowledge in some of the, probably they're never a receptionist, but because they've got the traits, they've got the attitude. So if I'm saying probably you're a receptionist, if I'm going to sit you at my reception when you're coming to work, then probably I'm going to test you by making 3-4 people pass through probably a bunch of certain people, and the people are not greeting these 4 people. It simply means those people, they cannot be receptionists automatically. So those are some of our tests.
Just to say good morning, good afternoon.
So if I also say I'm an accountant, then I can probably say, okay, just go to, are you able to walk probably to Mbianeanda, get me my suits, come back with them? So someone probably will start frowning to say, I'm just an accountant. So to me,
it's not in my job description.
Yeah, to me, I believe that someone with good attitude can just do anything. So if you notice right now, even people like Elon Musk have said, no, we're no longer recruiting the MBAs in their companies. It's because when someone is getting out of the university, when someone has got qualifications, they are strongly believing that qualifications are going to do their job. But unfortunately, in the world which we are now living, you need that skill. Qualification alone is never going to save you. So these are the traits which we will be identifying. For example, if I recruit an accountant today, most of them we are teaching them from scratch because they are getting out of the university towards their raw. So they need to have good attitude for us to be able to train them. That's why sometimes now we use our unorthodox way of recruiting, whereby now probably you can say, we started off as okay, just to go, we're recruiting a tax accountant. Just run to Zimra. Probably just show me that you visited Zimra. Some people will say, I'm never going to do that. Some people will say, we just say, no, I can go to Zimra and I can take my photo, then I can come back. So it happened that way. So other people, because they would have lost in that competition now, and other people feel like they're more important than others. Like up to now, I can still sweep my office. I can still clean my car. Because why? It's what we were taught in our early days of working, to say you can just do anything. If there's no cleaner, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to stay in a dirty office. But some of our guys now we are recruiting, they would rather stay in a dirty office just because she feels like she's an accountant, she feels like she's more qualified, so she cannot even clean her offices, and we doubt even if she's able to clean her own bedroom.
Wow. All right. So there are messages coming through, but most of them, I think, just to summarize, is that a lot of people are saying, thank you for doing what you do. You are an inspiration to us, and I wish to be like you. So I guess an initiative, Mr. Nyazungu.
Yeah, you can send us. We can test.
All right. You can test. So they say that you are the result of the 5 people around you. Now your job is to organize and help companies come up with strategies that make them work. But who helps you work? Who helps you become the Jerry you are today?
Okay, I'm here because of a lot of people. Okay. And like right now, I think I can say I've got my manager, because the chartered vendor is now its own brand. Okay. So it's its own company. When you're doing the trainings and everything, the seminars, is the chartered vendor. So M&J is another brand also on its own. So I've got Steve Tadzoka. He has actually assisted me in a lot of things, making sure that I'm organized, making sure that all this, actually the books, everything comes out like the way it is happening. Then I can also mention, unfortunately or fortunately, I've got more of young people helping me. And I can also mention Tamuka Chinzwende. He's my managing director for Zambia. He has helped in editing all my books, publishing them. And I can also mention someone who's, I haven't seen that guy, but he has helped me virtually. That's Grant Cardone from the United States of America. He has helped me with his books. I've read all his books. I watch almost all his videos, and I like him very much. Then I can also mention Mr. Philip Mataranyika. He has helped me. He gave me only 3 fundamentals to actually run a business, and those have proved to be very helpful in my lifetime. And I can also mention our board chair, Madame Chipo Mandela. She's also helped me in my life. Then also, lastly, and but not least, my wife.
Oh, that is perfect. That's the perfect close to that one. So I was reading your book, Selling Like a Vendor. I've got a copy, and I got it because I came to a sales training actually, and I liked it very much. I remember there was a time we had to do a sales pitch.
Yeah.
In English, pasnakuti he, and people were were falling out. No, depending on urkubi, you have to know kuti I'm selling to this kind of person and this kind of level. So your book also highlights a lot about the customer. What advice can you give to those that are listening on how important the customer is?
Yeah, everything is the customer. For this radio to run is because there are people are paying for advertising space. For us to earn salaries because of the customer. Actually, at our company, those unorthodox way of doing things. Our pay slips are written. It's customers' money. So people, they have to know that no, Jerry doesn't have any money, but our customers are the ones who actually give us money. So everything, if you notice, even the country itself, we are looking for customers to invest in this country. We are looking for customers to buy our agriculture produce, our minerals. It simply means that for the world to go around like what is happening, is because of the customers, it's because of the clients. So those are the most important people in the business. Yes, people, they say employees are important, but I disagree. I feel like the customers are the most important, because if there are no customers, there's no business.
If there are no customers, there's absolutely no business. And your parting words for those that are listening and those that will watch the video even after we are done, what would you have to say to them?
Okay, I want to say to them, if someone, probably you're in Pelandaba, you're in Sakuva, you're in Nyanga, you're in Zarabani, you are not actually, you need to push up there, because there are a lot of opportunities. And don't give excuses that probably it's because of my mother, it's because of the economy, it's because I'm a Zimbabwean, that's why I didn't have all these opportunities. We need to push, and it's never going to be easy. Sometimes you're going to get broke, sometimes you're going to be sued, sometimes you're not even going to be arrested, sometimes you're even going to be hungry, but you need to keep pushing. And this life, there are a lot of opportunities, but only for the positive-minded. Lastly, it's not what you're actually driving right now, but it's what is driving you. Yeah.
All right. So there you have it. The wonderful chartered vendor who is also the chief servant. I like that one. His name is Mr. Jerry Mo Nyazungu. We talked about vision. We talked about strategy. He also talked about the mindset and how one has to be responsible to take the opportunity to sell, to grow yourself and scale up. Thank you so much for coming.
Welcome.
All right. Until next time, it is mind your business, because all we know is if you mind your business the right kind of way, then indeed you will become something to talk about tomorrow. Until next time, it's bye-bye for now.